welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christine. I'm here today with my fiance. So we got back from Paris a couple of weeks ago. We got engaged recently, if you missed it, and we wanted to do a big Q&A answering some of your guys' questions, kind of do a little story time, and I just feel like we haven't really hopped on here together to talk about it yet. So we're really excited. We've been together now for 7 years, and we celebrated our anniversary actually just a couple of weeks ago. So Paris was kind of like an early 7-year anniversary. So a lot has happened. We're excited to share. Grabbed a lot of questions from you guys on my Instagram. So do you have anything to say before we jump in? Okay, let's go ahead and dive right in. Question number 1 is do a story time. Brad and I had spent the entire month of October in New York, and I think like one weekend we spontaneously decided to go to Paris, and we're like, let's just go on an international trip. The flight to Paris was literally so cheap. It was only like a 5 or 6 hour flight, so we decided like, let's just book this trip. It can be like an early anniversary trip, and that's what we did. So we went to Paris, and we were there for about 5 days before Brandon proposed. And the day that he did do it, he had told me that he had booked like dinner plans for us, and it was like a day that he wanted me to kind of like block off because he said he had plans. And so I was just like, oh, okay. That's
just the night, because we did a thing in the morning, but.
Oh yeah, we went shopping in the morning, got my Chanel bag. After we did a little bit of shopping, we got back to our hotel, and then you can kind of carry on from there.
Well, let's back up a little bit here. I had set up for us to do like a sunrise. I was telling her we should get up early, take photos for sunrise. So there's gonna be nobody around, and I found a spot with the photographer to go meet at this one spot, and the photographer was gonna like pop out of nowhere and start taking photos when I got down on one knee. So I was supposed to propose to her on Sunday.
Officially day 2.
Yeah, day 2, because I was like stressed out, wanted to do it, like had the ring, had it all set up, and then this one wouldn't get up.
Well, first of all, we were in New York for the whole month of October, which means you had the ring the entire time.
Yeah.
You had picked it up before we even got to New York.
Also stressful.
And if you know Brandon, like,
what does that mean?
Man's is not really planned, or like you kind of just like vibe and go.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised that you had like plans so far in advance. Okay, so anyways, he had kind of worded Sunday as like, let's get up and shoot content. Like you can bring some outfits and we can shoot, and it can be like a big content day. And he was really pushing for it, like obviously because he had plans and I had no idea. And I was like, dude, we got in late.
Did you at all sense? Like,
no,
was I pushing too hard?
No, I had no idea. I was just like, well, why does it have to be tomorrow? Why can't it be any other day? Because he wanted me to wake up. We had to leave the house at what, 6? To catch sunrise?
Yeah, I think that was the time.
Yeah, aka I would have to wake up at 5 to get ready, and I was just so tired from traveling. It was not gonna happen. So I didn't suspect anything. So then
had to text the photographer, call it off. It's a no-go.
And this is a Parisian photographer too.
Yeah.
In Paris.
Yeah. And so luckily, also shout out to Ray for helping me plan the whole thing, because she was a big help in just planning everything, because I was with her. So it was really hard to talk back and forth with the photographer and set up the location and everything. So she helped me kind of behind the scenes message her and set up everything so that she didn't suspect anything.
Yeah, so pretty much he had Rachel like reschedule, rearrange everything, and so then you had reset everything for, was that Thursday?
Yeah.
Or Friday?
The 10th.
Yeah, whatever the 10th was.
Yeah, the 10th. So we had set up now a new location on a rooftop, which ended up being way better, like way better than I expected to. Worked out perfectly. We had perfect weather. So we had rented out the rooftop. I took her up there telling her it was like a little picnic that we were gonna do for the sunset and play some games.
He even like brought Monopoly Deal. He borrowed some blankets from the hotel. So at this point, when he told me like block off this time slot, I was kind of like suspicious, but I wasn't sure. I never saw the ring. I never saw anything about it. I never like heard any word of him talking about this. So I just had no idea. I wasn't sure, but I had a suspicion that maybe. So when we got to this guy's rooftop, I was just like, oh, so we're having a picnic, like not at the park, but up here. So then I was like, okay, this is a little bit suspicious. And then a photographer shows up. So then I was like, okay, something's happening. I think something's happening. And she had me and Brandon pose like facing away from each other, and she was acting like she was taking a couple photos, and then she told me to turn around and face each other. And when I had turned around, he was on one knee. And when I was facing away from Brandon, I like had the suspicion. I was like, holy shit, this is it. Like there's no other, like you set it up in such a way that I was like, this is it. So I turned around, like kind of expecting him, and then when I saw him on one knee, I still cried because I was just not ready. Like I had an inkling, but I started climbing. And so in all the photos, I was just absolutely bawling my eyes out. But overall, the whole thing was like very magical, and yeah. And we saw the twinkling of the Eiffel Tower, we saw the sunset, and then after the photographer left, Brent and I still had like a little bit of time up there just to
like
enjoy. Yeah, we played like half a game of Monopoly Deal. We talked for a little bit, and I was just like, how did you plan this? Like, did you ask my parents? All that stuff. So it was very romantic and special. And we got like good videos of everything and photos, obviously. So you did good. Good job. Next question. Why Paris? Brandon's never been to Europe, and so it had always been kind of like a dream trip for us. I've been a long time ago with my family, but I just feel like doing Disneyland as a couple is always gonna be totally different. Taking trips together, going to like a romantic city together is always gonna be like such a romantic thing. And we wanted to go to celebrate our early 7-year anniversary, and our friend Alyssa and Marco, they are obsessed with Paris. They recently went to go get their engagement photos in Paris, and they like made us want to go. And especially because we are already in New York, the flights were so cheap. Like literally our flight round trip to and from Paris was like $500, which is like, I bought flights to Seattle that have costed that much. So for us, it was just a no-brainer. We left all of our luggage at Alyssa's house, just brought like one carry-on each to spend a week in Paris, and it was the best.
We brought one checked bag each, not a carry-on. Oh
yeah, not a carry-on, checked bag. But we want to go back, so we're already talking about going back next month. So we'll see. Okay, was Brandon nervous?
Nervous?
During the proposal.
Oh yeah, well of course. I was nervous the whole day. What do you mean? I was nervous the whole trip.
And you know what's funny is while we were in Paris, like that whole week, I was like, something is off. But I didn't think it was off because like you're gonna do something. I was just like, why is he being? What
do you mean? I feel like I wasn't being any certain type of way.
I don't know. You
I was going on runs. I was doing my thing.
Yeah, but it seemed like you're almost kind of like anxious. You're always like shaking and like, what are we doing next? I don't know. I got a weird vibe. I know you. I knew something was up.
I was only nervous the day that I had to like cancel everything. I was like, oh god,
that was
like,
stressful.
What are we going to do now? So that was nerve-wracking. And then the actual day, but then in between, like,
we were enjoying.
Yeah.
You maybe didn't really think about it too much.
Yeah, because once I had planned it, I was like, okay, that's the day. Nice. Don't have to carry this around.
And we actually were in London 2 days before we went to Paris, and we got stopped by customs, and they almost searched our bags. They almost searched his bag, and would have
real bad.
Would have maybe found the ring, would have spoiled the surprise for everyone. You maybe would have had to pay duties on it.
No, there's no way I would have.
Yeah, no, maybe not. But yeah, it was it was a little scary. And it's funny too, because in the engagement photos, you could see like the relief in your face after the fact. When we're like hugging, you're like, someone asked, did you know? Did I know? So, I mean, we've been together for 7 years, right? And we had always talked about getting engaged. And so I didn't expect it. When we booked our trip to Paris, I wasn't like, oh, this is going to be when he proposes to me. I didn't think.
Also didn't think I had talked to your parents yet.
Yeah, I didn't think he talked to my parents. I didn't think he had time to even pick the ring or do anything. So I really was like 50-50. Like, we're going to Paris. Maybe it will happen, but also wouldn't be surprised if like it didn't happen. So I think a lot of people have the misconception because him and I went ring shopping that I like knew it was gonna happen, but I kind of wanted to lead Brandon in the right direction. You know, like when you've been together for so long, obviously you talk about getting engaged and all that stuff, but like I didn't want to give him a timeline or like plan it for him. I wanted to leave it kind of open-ended so that he could plan. But we did go ring shopping because we, like I said, we had been together for so long and we had talked about getting engaged, and we more so went just to make sure we're on the same page. And which we were on the same page because
originally I convinced you on the shape too. Yeah. Originally you wanted something else and I was like, I think this is the best.
Yeah, so I was saving like inspo to my Pinterest boards and saving like Instagram inspo. You know, just kind of looking and seeing what my dream wedding ring was, and a lot of my girlfriends were asking me like, what's your dream wedding ring look like? And I just feel like you never really know until you go into a store and look. And so he took me into one of his friends, took me into one of his friends' jewelry shops, and his friend is a jeweler. I had a lot of girlfriends that took their boyfriends to go ring shopping, and so I originally was just gonna like let him do whatever and decide, because I feel like I trusted his taste and I knew he was gonna pick out something nice, and I wasn't gonna be super picky about it. But my girlfriends kind of scared me, and I feel like it's a ring that you have forever. So we just booked an appointment to go ring shopping, and it was kind of nice for both of us because then you knew for sure it was something that I liked. I knew what I liked and kind of like guided him in the direction. So we looked at a lot of different shapes. We ended up deciding that I liked the oval without like the spotlight diamonds around it. My mom's wedding ring has kind of a side profile, so there's like a little bit of a halo around hers, and so I knew I wanted mine to be like that. There wasn't a ring in the shop that was exactly what I wanted, so it was nice because the jeweler that was helping us out, Cisco, was able to write down like all the different little aspects and pieces of a ring that I really liked, and then they were able to custom make one, right? I've got a lot of questions about this too. Is Brandon actually got me 2 rings, and it's a little stacking situation, and so
I think the story behind that is a lot of wedding rings that you see are kind of like that thick band, but she didn't really like the thick band and she didn't want a thick band. So something that you can do is kind of like stack like this, and this was in some of like her inspiration photos that she was like showing me. And also this kind of works well like if you maybe don't want to wear out the big one, like you can wear that too. Yeah, but yeah, it's just an oval shape, kind of has like a little halo side profile situation. There's a diamond band all around it, but actually the underside doesn't have diamonds on there, and you did that strategically so I don't like scratch counters and stuff, right? That's much. This other one is an eternity band because that one will spin, but kind of how the jeweler described it, or Peter and Cisco, whenever her hand is together, the ring's never gonna rotate more than her finger, so you're never gonna see no diamonds. Yeah. But that way, when she sets it down though, she won't scratch it. Yeah,
at least the engagement ring.
And the other thing too that's kind of, I guess, not very traditional is yellow gold.
Oh yeah, yellow gold, just because
a lot of times they're white gold.
Yeah, because I wear a lot of yellow gold, so it's nice that it did match. And a lot of people were asking for our wedding if we'll get a separate wedding band or wedding ring, because typically you have one engagement ring and then you have a wedding ring and you put them together. So people were asking, are we gonna
have 3?
Have a third one? I don't know. I feel like we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like maybe we'll just reuse this one.
Or get another one.
Yeah.
Probably just get another one, honestly.
We'll see.
Probably get another one.
We'll talk about it. Did you ask my parents? And yes. Kind of, obviously you did. So like when, kind of walk them through that?
It was actually on our Hawaii trip. One early morning, I think after I went on like a run, I went up and they gave me the blessing.
And it was funny because Brandon goes on runs regularly, so like when he told me he was gonna wake up before sunrise or at sunrise to go on a run, I didn't suspect anything. And so did you actually go on a run?
I thought I went on a run, yeah.
You went on a little run.
And everybody was getting up around 8 o'clock normally, so I had plenty of time.
Yeah. So you like went upstairs.
And I knew they were awake already. Knocked on their room, talked with them
were
for.
you nervous?
Of course I was nervous. Like, what if they said no? What do I say even at that point?
Plus, if you like know my mom, she will give you a hard time about anything, and especially something like this. I just imagine her giving you the most difficult time, like her saying like no for fun, just to like see what you say. But
no.
they both said yeah.
Yeah, we talked for a little while just about our relationship and kind of how we've grown over the years. And
Cute.
Yeah. They gave us the blessing.
Yeah. And when he told me this on the Paris rooftop, I literally started crying again because I was like, wow, that is so sweet. And I feel like having my parents' blessing is always like the most important thing. Yeah. People want to know the photographer details, the rooftop details. The jeweler that we went to is Peter Marco. His jewelry shop store is in Beverly Hills, right on Rodeo Drive, and it's like across from like the Porsche design shop, right?
Design, Richard Mealy.
Yeah, so like his store is beautiful and he has the most like extravagant diamonds. He's a great guy. He's so nice to us.
Yeah.
And
definitely, like, if you're in the area, highly recommend checking him out. Like,
yeah, just going in to look, and he's always like pretty flexible with prices, so you can tell him Christine and Brandon sent him, and yeah.
Chow Photos.
Yeah, so her username used to be Chow Photo, but I think she changed it to Alexia DePrivet.
Highly recommend her for just engagement stuff if you're in the city. It was great working with her. Rachel like spoke with her a lot and kind of coordinated everything, which worked out really well. And that whole process was fairly straightforward. And she had a lot of great recommendations for spots. So if you're gonna take photos out there, I definitely recommend reaching out to a photographer because they know the good spots. Yeah. They know where to take you. Yeah, we really liked working with her. She got the photos to us really quick. And the rooftop that we went to is La Pampa Parisian, whatever. We'll also pop it. Yeah, we'll pop it and we'll link everyone down below as well. View was beautiful and it was kind of like a 2-hour rental thing that we got. So it's nice because you can get like a time period that you want to do. View's gorgeous. Highly recommend. Yeah, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 100 euros an hour, which coming from New York, where I was looking at renting out rooftops there for only an hour because that's how expensive they were, your money goes way further in Europe. Yeah. For sure. Great deal. Yeah, it was a great deal. How did you know you wanted to marry each other? Did you experience doubts or fears? So I feel like we hit a really big road bump, like 3 years in, we kind of like broke up for a little bit, kind of re-found each other and started really slow. So to me, we've been together for a total of 7 years, but it almost feels like our relationship really started again from that point that we like reconnected because it just felt like we were so much stronger individuals and we were so much more like independent. So together we were just a much better couple. And so after we had broken up and then like gotten back together, I kind of was able to date around. He was kind of, talking to other people and like I realized that he was the best person for me and our relationship was so much stronger. So from that moment, I like knew he was the one. I actually like was obsessed with Brandon when I first met him, and so I don't know, I feel like after you date for a certain amount of time you get to know someone so well and you meet the family, and if they get along with your family, like my parents love him obviously, like you kind of just know. Oh, okay, this is cute. What is the general vision of the wedding? Location, colors, food. So haven't really thought about any of that yet, but I know for sure we want to do a destination wedding. We want to do something international. We need to do some more exploring and scout locations for signs. Scout some locations. So obviously we need to go to Italy, Greece. You've never been to Tokyo, so I'll have to take you to Tokyo. Go back to Paris, just for signs, And I've always envisioned some sort of like winery or some type of Parisian wedding, something with a good indoor-outdoor space. We'll have to scout some locations. Obviously, like I love my neutrals, so it's gonna be a lot of like
beige, brown, white tones. As far as like the pop of color, I'm not sure yet. I feel like you and I are both obsessed with like emerald green. That could be a vibe. But who knows? Maybe that'll change because I feel like we're not wanting to have our wedding until not next year, but probably the year after that. Maybe like 2023, early in the year. Also had some people mention during our proposal video, like it kind of went viral on TikTok, and a lot of people were talking about the fact that you didn't crease your Jordans. Was that like an intentional thing that you thought about, or just happened?
Not intentional, but I was the day before. I remember looking up two things: which hand put the ring on, and which knee is supposed to go down. Which apparently, I didn't really realize that there is like a right and wrong knee, but apparently there is. Apparently you're supposed to, I think it's left knee down.
Oh, left knee down. I would have thought right knee.
I was like, that's what they said online. So.
Yeah, allegedly.
But I've seen both, that's the thing.
Yeah. We had a tripod set up and the photographer was like separately taking her own photos, but this is actually a screenshot of a video that Brandon took. And we posted that and it ended up going viral. So it's
Prime positioning.
It went viral on Instagram, it went viral on TikTok, and so many like meme and comedy pages like reposted us, and it's crazy. Like the moment was so special to us, but I just love that so many other people loved it and were so supportive of it, which I thought was so cute. How long were you in Paris for, and do you wish you stayed for? I feel like maybe this is a different. Oh, okay. Someone's asking what was COVID like in France, and so we have a Paris vlog that hopefully will be live before this. I feel like I've been working on it for so long because there's so much footage. So when that video goes up, if it's live, I'll link it up in the corner. But COVID in France, we had to upload our documents, proof of vaccination, and all that stuff to their website to get verified. And once it was all verified, they sent us a QR code. And so we use that QR code like for everything, like almost every single restaurant we went to check that. Clothing stores, not so much. It was mainly like...
The only places that checked it was some of the restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants.
It was like 50-50.
Yeah, but it's nice because it is a QR code, so they scan it, and so that way, like, you know, everyone in the restaurant is vaccinated, which is great. Everyone wore masks everywhere except for when you get down into restaurants and eat, or if you're like outside walking, people aren't really wearing masks. Yeah. Did you know French before going to Paris? No.
No.
None. Now we know bonjour, bonsoir.
Bonjour.
Merci beaucoup. That's it. What place is next on your travel list? We'll end the video with this.
Well, technically speaking, Seattle.
Well, yeah, we'll go back to Seattle for the
holidays.
And that'll actually be our first time seeing everyone as an engaged couple. So that'll be fun to, like, you know, see my parents and see my sister and our friends and stuff. So that'll be fun. Yeah. See your parents.
But when we were just now in Mexico, we started like one night at the club. We started looking at
Paris apartments.
Yeah, Paris apartments.
We were literally like drunk at the club, like, let's look at Paris apartments, and we looked and it was so cheap. Yeah. So we'll probably do a quick little bop over to New York again, see some of our friends,
and then bop out to
Paris.
Again.
And we might take the train again to London and stay longer in London too, because it was really fun. And I feel like the 2 days that we were there, like, we were so jet lagged. He got a little bit sicky, and yeah, we just didn't get to do a whole lot.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, but I think after Paris, I would like to go to Tokyo because I loved it, and that was my favorite place I've ever been, and I want to go with you. And I feel like we love sushi so much. So anyways, that is it for today's video. I'm actually headed to go out with the girls, leaving Brandon here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A. We'll go ahead and leave like timestamps of all the questions. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, we're so much more active on there. And if you want to see more videos of us together, more travel vlogs, where should we go next? Let us know. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video. Bye.
Peace.